Warning: this stream is rated for mature audiences. Viewer discretion is advised.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to the Sleight of Game Shatterproof Theater. My name is Scotty, also known as EBC. Directly to my right is the man himself, Sleight of Game. He is our sponsor this month, and he requests that you go check out shatterproof.org. I got the link in the chat right there. Just check it out. It's an organization that is devoted to helping people with the drug addictions and making full recoveries. This is a subject that's near and dear to Slight's heart, and he would very much appreciate it if you go check out that organization. Potentially make a donation if it so fits your fancy, and we appreciate you. All right, and then we have a special guest. This is his first appearance on the EBC channel, the one and only Tom Soldraic, all the way from the Bahamas in a bunker deep under the ocean. He joins us. Welcome. How you doing? I I am fantastic. Slight, what's happening with you? How you doing? Oop, hold on. Oh, there we go. Nobody heard any of you because I had you muted. So let's do that again. Tom, how you
Oh,
doing?
I'm doing great. I'm fantastic. How about you?
I'm good. Okay, now Slight, how you
I
doing?
said things were good, and that's the best time of year.
All right. Yeah, that happens regularly here. I don't know what the fuck I'm doing, and I start, that mess. Okay.
I make the
Get
same
this
mistakes.
thing
I usually
here.
just use the mute button up here instead of,
Yeah,
it's easier for me.
that requires forethought. Okay. All right. So this is the EBC Thanksgiving Special 2022. And I put the 2022 on there because we did one last year. And yeah, it was fun. And I wanted to do another one this year. And the timing and scheduling worked out. But I said to myself, I really want to have some other people because last year I was just doing it by myself. So these fine gentlemen here were harangued into doing this. I owe them money now and bits of my soul. Yeah.
I was wondering who did it last year. I couldn't remember. It was just you, huh?
Yeah, it was just me
Wow.
yakking and pretending like
That's
I know
right.
what the fuck I'm
That's
talking
right.
about,
I
and
remember.
so, but yeah. All right. So let's get started. What I would like to
Oh,
do first is I've got 4 bullet points there on the screen: family, friends, kindness, and food. Kindness, it doesn't start with an F, so that's an F in chat. Hold on. There we go. And
Can I get
but
any F's in chat? F's in chat for
yeah,
kindness.
food. Yeah, we're gonna hit that last because that's just like when we did the UK versus US special. We're definitely gonna spend a lot of time on food, I think. So in my opinion, one of the things that it is really an issue with Thanksgiving, aside from some of the other things that might come into play with like Christopher Columbus and how like the Native Americans were treated in the early days of America and some of those other things. Like, I mean, I don't really care so much to think of Thanksgiving in the vein of the Pilgrims and the first Thanksgiving and all that rigmarole. Um, what I like to think about it is
rigmarole. Never heard that.
yeah, that's rigatoni, but in a roll, rigmarole.
Is it a real word? You just make that up.
No, that's an
That's
actual word.
fantastic.
Look it up.
I've never heard it before. I've never heard it before.
Is it really?
Rigmarole. Yeah.
Rigor mortis.
Yes. But in any case,
I don't even know how
I
to spell it.
look at Thanksgiving in the vein, not even as a holy day, a holiday. I look at it in the vein of it's the time that you get to spend with family that maybe you otherwise wouldn't because you're away, you live in different parts of the country or whatever. You get to have nice conversation with people that whoever you're getting together with, except for the people that listen to the political people and they go, yeah, we want to use this as an opportunity to just like preach to our family about why they're wrong politically. I get I see that a lot now these days, like, so many political people they encourage you to use that as, and I'm like, no. No, that's not an opportunity. Okay, you could do that anytime by shouting at them on Facebook or Twitter. Um, yeah, no, it's an opportunity to sit down face to face with people that you don't necessarily regularly see because of time or distance or whatever else, and have a nice conversation about your lives. Um, and then I also see it as it is an opportunity to completely and utterly stuff yourself silly and have some of the best food in the world. There's nothing like mom's home cooking.
Dude, after Thanksgiving, it's like you can't even. I try every year to stay awake. I can't do it. I can't
Well,
do it.
the
Like,
older
man, I gotta go to sleep now.
the older you get, the harder it is on a full stomach. You know,
I
Yeah,
have not
this is
faced that
drugs.
problem just yet.
Yeah.
Dude,
How old are you, Tom?
I am 21. So this is my
you're still in that age bracket where you can pretty much destroy yourself physically and still wake up at 6 a.m.
yeah.
And that's
eat,
gonna
eat a whole pack of
I'll
Oreos
tell you
straight.
right now, it's seriously just going to hit a dead end in 5 years when you hit 26, and then you're like,
I'm gonna hit 26 and the warranty is going to wear off. And I'm
Yeah.
going to be
Tired.
like, uh-oh. I can't eat that now.
Yeah, it's Scotty's experienced. He's had a lot of rigmarole.
yeah, exactly.
Fried rigmarole. It sounds like a food.
I was really excited to come home from my university
Mhm.
because I was thinking, I was like, oh, I get to see my family. Especially it's around the holiday, and oftentimes my birthday will actually fall on Thanksgiving, so that's fun too. Usually we just stick a candle in the turkey and call it a day. But I also have a twin sister, so I get to come home and see them as well, which is great. But one of the biggest things I actually thought of on the train ride home was there's food at home.
Yeah.
There's cooked food. There's home cooked food at home.
Yeah.
I can go eat it. I'm excited because at college I'm buying stuff and I'm cooking myself, or I'm eating out, and it's like not very healthy. And Thanksgiving food isn't like the healthiest either, but it's a special holiday where we cook a lot of good food. So
Right.
I got overly hyped up on my train ride home. I was like, oh yay, I get to go eat food.
You actually put a candle in the turkey?
No, I think we did one year.
I would have.
I usually just use it as an expression, but
So your
I
birthday's
think-
on Thanksgiving, or sometimes?
it sometimes falls on Thanksgiving, just because the like first Thursday, like the last Thursday of the month, or third
Right.
Thursday, I think, will fall throughout the week. I've had my birthday on Thanksgiving twice in my lifetime, so
Gotcha.
it's coming soon.
Yeah. I mean, that in itself, like I live fairly close to my mom. In fact,
Mhm.
we're going there tomorrow, which normally it's another day, usually like a Saturday or Sunday following, or whenever it fits in our schedules. It just so happens with all of our work schedules, we're able to do it on the actual day now. And yeah,
That's good.
we like to get together and have some fun, and we go all out on the food. I think she's making ham and turkey and shrimp. I'm bringing the stuff for a charcuterie tray, and yeah, we just go all out.
That sounds so
Mashed
good.
potatoes, all the fixins,
That sounds very good.
Not that guy Ryan. How far under the ocean? The deep, deep depth of 15 feet. He can almost touch the surface. Yeah. Got the audio fixed. Food. And Apheline, welcome. Thank you for joining us. Polarian, welcome. Polarian is bringing turkey, apparently. Let's see what else.
I wonder
we
if you
got here.
can. Let's see if I can.
And Ben from the Gaming Avengers.
Would you be able to share a picture, Scotty? Or is that too
Sure.
complex? If I even have it.
Trying to think how I would do that here.
I would send it to you on Discord. You don't gotta. I could just tweet it out.
No, I'm just
trying.
trying to figure out how I would do that without.
Are you about to flex on us with your
No.
skills?
No.
He's like,
This is
I'm gonna show
my,
you
my,
the
my
real
dad had
food.
texted me and texted my sister and texted everybody to show off his Okay, I sent it to you. So apparently, the turkey is in this bucket, just sitting there.
Hold on a
inside
second.
of liquid,
What I gotta do is I
overnight.
gotta do this
Pretty
in
good.
the other thing. So give me a minute. So in any case, while I'm doing that, go ahead and because like I said, we're gonna hit food last, and we're gonna really dig in. We're gonna really dig in. Haha. But let's talk about some family first. So, especially in regards to Thanksgiving, and let's start with you, Slight. What does family mean to you?
What does it mean? So my family is half sisters, half brothers, stepfather. So nobody's really full blood except my mom. So to me, it's never been about like who's related to you, but more about who's been with you your whole life and who's, you create a special bond after many, many years. And my girlfriend's one of those who's obsessed with finding out her genealogy, but I don't care who's related to me. My stepdad is my dad, and his mom is my grandma since I was like 6. So it doesn't really.
Yeah. I grew up in a very nuclear family, which I consider myself very fortunate. I have my 2 loving parents, my dad and my mom, and my twin sister, and then my younger brother, who does have autism. So it gets a little tough sometimes when we're trying to get everybody rounded up to go to grandma's for Thanksgiving, but especially nowadays with my sister and I both in different parts of our state, going to college and things like that, we all get to come home for I'd say like a week. I still live with my parents outside of college, so doing that is the turkey in that bucket.
Yeah, it's in that bucket.
Is hiding in that bucket.
In there for like 24 hours or something.
Hold on, I want to bring that
crazy.
up
That's
here.
a good marinade. But it does mean a lot for me to go see my grandmother and my aunts and my uncles and my cousins too. We used to go to both sides of my family. We would go to my mom's side, and then my dad's side as well. So I would see my grandparents on that side, my cousins, all of which are older on my dad's side. And I would go then from there to my grandmother's on my mom's side, and see my aunts and uncles there, all of which I have younger cousins on that side. So it was a little bit of a balance. I felt like the middle child in the family, kind of, even though I'm the oldest in my household. I was like, oh, I get to see my older cousins, and they're off to like college and stuff. And then my younger cousin was just born. So it's like, oh, okay. Regardless, though, it is always a good time to, especially with me now not being in my hometown, to come home and see my family and see how they're doing and see who's catching up with who. My mom just got a new job that I advised her to get, kind of. I talked with her about that over the summer, and I come home and I see she's really enjoying it. So it's really fun, especially because I'm not there anymore to see my family and meet. So I'm getting kind of the adult sense now. I'm a grown up now, apparently. I get to come home and see my family, which it's always mean the world to me. My mom and dad support my streaming and stuff like that. They'll hop in every now and then. So it's good. I really feel like I get to come home, and even though I'm away, I'm 2 hours away from home, I'm still a little bit connected, which is nice.
Yeah.
And I feel like Thanksgiving really just emphasizes those feelings.
Very cool.
Yeah, and the one thing, and I'll probably talk about this again, but in a different vein, at the Christmas special on December 18th. I hear so many like situations and problems that people talk about within their family, and I've experienced some of that myself, where it's like there's just people within your family that you don't get along with, or you maybe try to get along with, but they're not having it, or and that's maybe where some of the politics stuff comes in, or whatever. Like I have one family member that when I was working as a DJ, I own my own DJ company. She hired me to DJ her friend's wedding, and that was supposed to be her wedding gift to her friend. And this was, right? She was going to pay for the DJ and all that, right? She never paid me. And I'm going, okay, well, and I even gave her, the discount that I gave to family and friends. I gave her plenty of time and all that, and every time she came up with an excuse on how she couldn't do that, and I'm going, not even so much that she was like, I don't know, second cousin of mine or something like that, but that's how you treat your best friend, is Yeah.
Hmm.
So essentially, she never got her best friend a wedding gift because that was supposed to be it, and she didn't spend any money on it. What do you?
That's a little sketch. That's a little...
and I'm going, okay, is this really a family member that I want to hang out with? If that's one of the and there were other things, if that's some of the stuff that they are going to be doing, that's how they operate, or that's what their value system is like, and
Is
unfortunately,
that how they're going to run their life?
yeah. And unfortunately, there's been several of my large family members. We've got quite a few people in ours. Like my mom had 7 brothers and sisters, so we've got 32 cousins on just that side.
32 cousins.
Right? Yeah.
That's a lot of networking to reach out to every year.
Yeah. But there's quite a few people, unfortunately, in the family that I can't do it with. So the reason I brought all that up is because to me, family is whoever treats you like family, not who you're related to DNA wise, blood wise. So I've always tried to approach it like that my family is the people who not only I get along with, because they are not, let me put it this way, not difficult to get along with. They don't make it difficult to have a relationship with them, but also they turn around and the same kind of kindness that I would like to show them, they're reciprocating back, and they're showing me that they want to be in that role that I would then consider a family member.
Family is sort of like the people that want you to want to be around them, in a sense.
Right.
That kind of brings me back to the phrase of the blood of the covenant is thicker than the water of the womb. And just sort of like the people that you keep around you, whether they're related to you or not, can act and behave as much more of a family member than someone who's related to you. I know a lot of people that, especially growing up in my generation and things like that, a lot of students that I went to school with did experience a lot of divorce within their family, or other sibling struggles or things like that. I know a lot of my close friend group, I would go to their mom's house or I would go to their dad's house, and some of me never understood that, especially when I was younger. I'd be like, oh, you get 2 Christmases? That's crazy. But there's a lot more that goes into that, and I feel like you develop a sense of family when you're a lot younger, based on the people who stick around you, because you can have what's be told to you, like, oh, this is a person that is related to me by blood, therefore they are family. But you can have it shown to you in, Uncle Billy, the neighbor, coming over. You don't know who Uncle Billy's father is, but he's gonna come over, he's gonna bring cookies, and he's gonna have a good time with, you and mom and whoever else is with you. And he's more of a family member than, say, Uncle Jerry, who's in Florida doing,
and you hardly ever see,
you never see him. Yeah, so I do have relatives like that, where I see them probably once every 4 or 5 years. They live in like the next state over. I consider them kind of like my tertiary family, because you have immediate, secondary, tertiary.
That's an excellent way to think about that. Primary, tertiary.
Yeah.
And it's outside of the picture.
Like, oh, I am related to them.
Yep.
Like,
and that's about it.
It's like, they're not really my family. I can't really rely on them for anything. I don't even have their number, but they're in the book.
And Rigamaroli.
That's my Rigamaroli family. That's what they are. But I look at that in the sense of, if I don't see them, I don't see them. The family that I do care about seeing would be my immediate family. The ones, because my girlfriend, her and I are like almost complete opposites in a sense of family. Not that we don't love our families or anything like that, but her family is based kind of globally, whereas mine is 15 minutes away from me.
Yeah.
Like I can go to my grandmother's house, my uncle's house, and my other uncle's house, all in the span of 2 hours. Whereas, for somebody like her, it's going to take flights. It's going to take this, that, here,
Right.
there. So it's a little bit more the sense of family we have. Like I know when I move out, my mom is going to be like, where are you going? Why are you leaving the state? I thought you were going to be 15 minutes away from me. But so it's kind of affected, do I want to leave my family to do what I need to do? Or do I want to stay in town with my family? And I want to try and find a balance of that as I grow.
In the thing that you were studying, I'm assuming unless you got a really nice job offer far away, you could probably find something fairly close.
I think something within the field of neurological research is possible to find where I live.
Okay, I wasn't gonna go full slight and reveals all of that. No, I know.
Oh,
I know you've talked about it on your stream. Yeah.
Yeah, I'm studying cognitive neuroscience.
Yeah.
Which is fun, difficult but fun.
Brother?
Yes and no. A lot of it has helped me talk to my brother more and do better with my brother, because when I was young, I didn't understand, what a mental disorder or illness was. So
Right.
I'm sitting here like, oh, his brain just runs different. But now that I know a lot more about it, it's helped me communicate better with my brother, which is very helpful. It's not necessarily because of my brother. The reason I went into psych was actually because I had a friend who we met online back in 2012, but I never really met her until the summer of this year, which was cool. And I would low-key consider her a family member, actually, because that's like going back to like the people that you surround yourself with, or the people that care about you, are much more in tune with you than like other actual like family members. Like I know her much better than I know Uncle Tony, who lives in, over there, like I was about to say. But she had actually gone through a lot with her depression and things like that. And that kind of like struck a chord with me, and I was like, oh, I bet I could help. And being able to talk with my friends and family over the course of this week, I think has led to some really beneficial conversations, especially with me knowing more about psychology and counseling and kind of, the concept of therapy itself. I find I have a lot more people suddenly coming to me for advice, which is a little interesting. But I think my studies have really helped me get closer to my family in a sense where I didn't know being that close was possible.
Right. That's interesting.
Yeah, it's funny. It's funny because we have our spouses or girlfriends or boyfriends, whatever, and that goes back to the family discussion. They're somehow considered family, right? But you're not related. So
Right.
I think it's just that's a key element, is to make sure somebody's a good, close family member, before getting hitched.
Make sure you want to be a family.
Make sure you
Yeah.
make a family before you get married. That sounds
Right.
terrible, but you know what I mean.
I got you.
So along that same vein, kinda, see, because I know with my description of family, and then what you added onto that, Tom, is it's kind of blurring the lines between family and friends, because your true friends can just as equally be considered family, and they would distinguish, at least for me, they distinguish themselves from your associates by being there for you and showing you that they care about you with their actions, not just paying you lip service or whatever else. Friends to me, and I've really struggled with this my whole life, because I can't. I have a really difficult time that if I see negative behavior in people, I don't want to consider them a friend. And that could be negative behavior that impacts me or not. I look at that and I say, I don't necessarily want to associate with you because I feel like at some point this negative behavior that I see in you is going to negatively impact me, and I'm just kind of like
Mm-hmm.
shielding myself from that. So beyond that, the people that then I have tried to go ahead and make friends with, I've often been burned because they whether or not, and I'm seeing that and I'm going, and the whole reason I feel like that is because of experience. Those people that
Mm-hmm.
I have overlooked those negative behaviors that I see in their personality and that, and said, well, I still wanted to try to make friends with you, and then they end up causing me
Yeah.
problems.
So now you see the risks that you've been taking, and you see how it is a risk, and you're like,
Right.
this person is a risk that I don't want to take. Um, a lot of I like it's kind of hard sometimes to um pick and choose where your social energy goes. Um, I totally understand what you mean by seeing people and then getting immediate red flags from them,
Yeah.
and you're like, oh, there it is. Yep, I remember you. And it's like, oh man. Um, and I know that all personalities are very different. Some people can act similar, behave similar, sound similar to other people, but it's not always there. Um, See, I totally understand what you mean by this person is this person can be a friend, but if I make friends with them, I'm gonna get torched, and that's not fun.
And
So
hoping that that won't happen isn't going to
yeah,
change the result, you know.
holding out for hope can expend a lot of energy.
Yes.
So I think it is very important to pick and choose who you want around your table for a turkey dinner. Um, and I know that sometimes that can't be everyone, but when I think about I I'm a person that has oftentimes been plagued by the inability to say no.
Hmm.
Uh,
Yeah.
just as much as I am a people pleaser and want people to be happy around me and things like that. Um, and being in college and learning more from my family has shown me that I don't need to please everyone. I just need to please the people that I want to be around, like the people that I want at my table. I want them to be happy. So, in order to be friends, um, being someone's friend is a whole concept that requires a lot of mental fortitude to like understand fully, at least on my end, because I feel like everybody thinks about it differently. But having those friends that you really want around you is a really heartwarming experience, and it takes a lot to get there. But when you do get there, you're not really concerned with the people who aren't as close to you, or you're not really negatively impacted by the way they might feel. It's just sort of you with all of your friends, all of your good vibes, and you're chilling. Um, and I know that that's a different experience for everyone.
Popular thing we have today is the whole Friendsgiving thing, which isn't even good wordplay. Friendsgiving, but whatever. But has anybody considered inviting friends instead of having a Friendsgiving, just having Thanksgiving with friends coming over to be part of the family?
I actually made that thought today
Yeah.
because I was talking to my dad. After this stream, I am actually going to go over to my grandmother's and help her cook dinner for tomorrow. So that's gonna be fun. But we're making a lot of food, and I'm not sure if all of my family is going to be able to show up. So I had thought about it, and I was like, we just get Tyler, Zach, Brady. Everybody can come over. They can eat. We'll eat all the food. It'll be a great time. Like, and I had thought about that, and I was like, that's not family, but it still would be just as much, if not even a better time than yeah. So I was like, why don't we do that? That could be something that could happen.
Yeah.
But of course, it's not really traditional, and my roommates want to have a Friendsgiving when we get back to college.
Every time
So I was thinking like, I could just make food for them and they'll eat it, or I'll bring food home and they'll eat it. So that's that. I kind of made a similar thought where I was like, oh wait,
So
That's
you
a
you both
possibility.
have big families, huh? Scotty, would you say 32 cousins?
It's just on my mom's side.
Oh my gosh. See, I don't. I have a bunch of cousins too, because the whole Latin side of the family, Stephanie's and my mom. She
There
had
you
a
go.
ton of siblings, and there's a bunch of divorces, so there's a lot of family.
Right.
Like I had 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. I had like at least, I think I had 16 grandparents. So that's mine on my mom's and dad's side, and then some of them got divorced, so I had another one and another one. My stepdad had a stepdad, but
Right.
they were all. But I guess I just don't keep track of all these people. Like too many people to keep track of. So I don't know them all.
But at the same time, who's to say that it's right and proper to have a traditional family? I hear a lot of Christian conservatives talk about the nuclear family and how you really should have a mother and a father who's married for their entire life, because that's the Christian standard, and then the kids, and that's it. But I've seen just as many blended families, not necessarily from divorce, but maybe children out of wedlock or adoptions or anything else along those lines, and they can be just as happy. So it's not necessarily, in my opinion, like a big deal if you don't have a traditional family, and it's something else.
Well, I'm saying that. I mean, I've had my mom and my dad forever. My stepdad, he was basically my dad. So they've stayed together for the last 30 years. But, sorry, I was reading chat.
Yeah,
you're all good.
But because I am one of those people.
We're actually going to do something collaborative here with chat in a second.
Okay. I forgot what I was saying. Oh, no, I just don't keep track of all of our family. There's just so many. Like I've told Scotty before, my stepdad's uncle is one of the lead developers for Pong, right? The first video game. Some
That's
could
crazy.
say he invented it. Like, so he was the guy who made it work. Like he didn't come up with the idea, he didn't come up with a business name or anything. So there was 4 of them, and his name was Larry Emmons. And but I never met him, so it seems like my story is just kind of more bogus, right? But again, it's like we have so many family members, and a lot of them we don't even talk to.
And I feel like that's a circumstance that just comes with bigger
and it's just probably better in a way, because we talk about family not getting along. And I think it's because some people are raised a certain way, some people are raised a different way, and if your foundations don't match,
more variables that are present.
Right. So Thanksgiving for us is usually just my sister, myself, my parents, and whoever we're with. Maybe some extra kids, but
the people
if
that
we
can
bring
make
in
it.
too many people from other parts of our extended family, that's when the problems happen.
What you said about traditional like nuclear families, I did grow up in something like that, but I never thought about it as like, I never looked at other families, like any families that were separated or blended by other circumstances or anything like that. I never looked at that as a negative thing.
Right.
Which I'm happy I never stigmatized like that.
And it's not a negative thing.
It's not a negative thing.
Just like,
because
in my opinion, a complex family, or something that has many more moving parts than a nuclear family, is not a bad thing.
Yeah, it's like those families can be much happier than mine at times. I'm sure. Not like I don't love my family. I think we're the happiest, but that's me being biased. There's a lot of variables that go into both family and friends that I feel like kind of get overlooked when the topic of the Thanksgiving discussion around the table is, say, something political or something that someone did wrong, or this person not getting along with this person. And I don't think time is wasted, but I think time is undervalued in the way that people utilize it, especially when you're with the people that you want to be with around that table on that night, on that day. So I think there's a lot. Thanksgiving can be really productive if we all just put ourselves in the right mindset. And I know that that can be difficult for a lot of families that have different circumstances or need to talk about something different or something like that.
Right.
But I feel like if we all just, get around the table and celebrate being around people that we, appreciate and not forcing other people to go around or do something like that.
Or outweigh the narratives, I guess.
Yeah.
All right. So here's what I'd like to do now. Anybody in chat on the combined topic of family and friends, and especially in regards to Thanksgiving. We've been yakking about it for now almost half an hour. What are your thoughts? Anybody in the chat wants to contribute on family or friends, in particular in relation to Thanksgiving or holiday season or anything like that? Just put it in the chat. And while you're doing that, we'll address that in a second. I want to cap off friends by telling you about an experience of mine, and that was years and years ago when I had just turned, I was Tom's age, 21. I ran into a gentleman by the name of George, and George became a good friend of mine. He was a karaoke DJ, and I was really big into karaoke at the time, and I would follow him around to his shows because I really liked his style and, him as a host and that. And after a while, I began to help him out moving his equipment and things like that. And he, at one point, turned to me and said, I'd like to set you up in the business here. I'll get you the stuff that you need, and we'll get you some gigs, and you can maybe work part-time for me if I've got gigs that I can't handle or whatever the case may be. And I said, yeah, sure, why not? Because, karaoke was a great passion of mine at the time. And that then became my career for 15 years. Mm-hmm. And I own my own karaoke business, and George, to this day, remains a good friend of mine. Now, I didn't tell you that to tell you about George. I did that to tell you about Bill. Bill was another guy that frequented the bars that George played in, and he didn't have any family. And he would follow George around just like I did, and he, in his aloneness, rarely had plans for any of the holidays. In fact, there's many bars that are open on the holidays, and they are busy because there are people that don't have any family, and they go to the bars on those days, and it's almost like that's their family. So one of the things was Bill would do his thing. He'd come up and always be friendly with George and that. And George, a couple of years I spent with George and his family for Thanksgiving, and those years he invited Bill. Now, they didn't really know each other that well. I didn't know them that well. Hell, I'm not related to George, and after a while he got to know me and all that. But the point is, that was a tradition in their family, to invite a couple extra people that they weren't related to, that they knew didn't have a place to go, and they turned them into friends. People that they said, we would like you to sit at our table on this day, and we'll deal with that. So Bill was happy as a clam in mud to be there at George's table with us. And it made a world of difference to Bill to have that opportunity. And for me, that kind of angle to look at friendship really has a lot to do with recognizing what people need in their life and then offering it to them if you can. And I think that that's a great way to show what friendship is supposed to really be about, and it fits perfectly fine into what I think, at least me personally, the Thanksgiving spirit, what the entire holiday is supposed to be about.
I see what you're doing.
So
that's a perfect segue.
Yeah. So we have a first-time chatter, Alex Nova. I wasn't able to go home for Thanksgiving last month, and one of my best friends from middle school surprised me by coming out the weekend afterwards with her family to have a small Thanksgiving dinner with me. Yeah, see,
Aw.
Yeah.
that's
Good
great.
stuff.
It's that sweet, it's that kindness moment, you know? That's so sweet.
So yeah, and if anybody else wanted to contribute in the chat, please by all means, um, you know, we're gonna keep this going here. Now, on that note, I also wanted to segue into kindness. Now, this doesn't necessarily have so much to do with situations like Thanksgiving and that, but what I wanted to ask you guys is what are some of your favorite ways to show kindness to other people? And in particular, um, like I'll give you a small example, a very small example from my life. When I go to Aldi to shop, they've got you got to put the quarter to get the card out. I like to put the cart back into the corral with the quarter left in it, just so that when the next person comes up, you never know, that might be the thing that makes their day. Maybe it won't. Maybe they'll see that and do it themselves for the next person and pay it forward. I don't know. But that's, to me, that's like one very small simple way that I can push kindness onto somebody else, and it's my method, my way of doing things, and I can feel good about it. So what are some things that you guys like to do to push kindness out into the world?
I never heard of the quarter thing, by the way. Where is that?
Yeah.
Aldi?
Aldi's, I think their carts cost a quarter to use.
It's a grocery chain, and they don't have
I'm in
like
California, so I don't know.
Oh, they don't have Aldi out by you?
I've never
That's
heard of it.
crazy.
Oh, okay. So their business model is they have very few employees to run a fairly large grocery store. And so they do things in a very specific manner to save that money and then pass the savings along to their customers. One of them is they do not have people that go out into the parking lot to collect shopping carts and bring them back. So they have like a quarter eater type deal on each cart that you put the quarter in and it unlocks it and you can take the cart, but then you have to put it back to get your quarter back.
Gotcha.
So
Interesting.
One of the ways that I show kindness, I'll give you a very broad one and a very small one. I'll start with the small one first. A lot of the things, I'm a streamer too. I think we discussed. You guys know, but for anybody that didn't know in chat, but oftentimes when I see a streamer that I know, just like whether they're not even they have 30 followers or 300,000 followers, it doesn't matter. I'll always give them a shout out. Like
right.
if I see somebody walk in, I'll just like, I'll stop what I'm doing and type it myself. Like I'll type / shout out.
Yeah.
And everybody's like, no, you did not have to do that. Why are you doing that? I was like, cause I know who you are, and if I know who you are, I want other people to know who you are. So
Right.
And a lot of the times I see it totally makes people's day to see that pop up, especially when they're live. When someone else is live and they'll be like, oh my god, you shouted me out in my stream. I wasn't even there. I was like, you were lurking. I saw you. But even if I mention somebody, like EBC, I've shouted you out a lot.
Yeah.
So it's like if I mention somebody, I'm just like, oh yeah, sure, go follow them. Everybody go follow them. And I think it really makes a lot of people smile and stuff like that. But one of the biggest things throughout all of my life, I love to listen to people. Like if somebody needs to talk, I will sit them down and be like, all right, what happened? Like, you gotta tell me what's up. Like, so I feel like a lot of people don't really know how productive it is to get their thoughts out. Just as well, a lot of people don't understand how productive it can be to speak to a good listener. Because a lot of times for someone's certain circumstance, they don't have that pair of ears to rant to. So even if it's not something I'm super invested in, if I have the time, I will, and somebody's talking to me about something, I will ask them what happened. I'll say, hey, you don't have to talk about it if you don't want to.
Right.
But if you want to, I am here. You can talk to me. And it can range from whatever, but I love talking to people, and I love listening to people and making them feel a lot better about whatever situation they're going through.
Right.
I'm not the best at offering advice, but I feel like it makes a lot of people's days better.
Right.
Like Scotty was saying, the world has changed incrementally. It's like, not to get too graphic, but it could be the opposite. Like somebody's just on that last little hair, just hanging on, to the life they have. Just everything's wrong. Everything's, mentally, physically, emotionally. And maybe the straw that breaks the camel's back could be you cut in front of them in line, like give them a dirty look, flip them off when you're driving, stuff like that. Can somebody could kill themselves? You never know, And on the flip side, you have somebody who just a smile. It's nothing. It's just a smile. But like what Scotty does with the carts, it seems insignificant, but it's like, have you guys ever seen that movie, The Butterfly Effect?
Oh yeah.
I have not seen it, unfortunately.
There was a little audio drama called The Butterfly Decision that you might have heard of. Yeah.
Pretty famous.
That was it famous? I don't think so. But that was based on that. Yeah. The opposite of that though.
It's a common theory. It's like a butterfly can flap its wings over here.
Yeah.
On the other side of the world, it could be a hurricane, right? So it's just everything's a domino effect.
Yeah. Have you seen those like sweatshirts that they're selling now that it's just like on the back it says, "You're a person behind me. You look great today." The person in front of you.
That's interesting.
Yeah, I think those are all like really nice and sweet. But stuff like that where it's like it's the littlest thing.
Yeah.
It can make it a lot better.
Yeah. All right, same thing. Chatters, if you have anything that you wanted to specifically say about kindness, relay some experiences, tell a story, go ahead, put them in the chat and we'll address that. We're actually going to take a short commercial break here, and then we're going to come back before we dive into the food. There's plenty of food to be had. It's all virtual, so you're going to have to imagine tasting it as we go along, but yeah. So stay tuned. We shall be right back here on the EBC channel.
Good morning, Christopher Robin.
All right, welcome back. Okay, so we're definitely going to dive in and pig out now. This is the best part. So let me hold on. Let me do this thing here. We're going to move this out of the way because I had initially thought I wanted to do tier maker with this, but tier maker, if you want to do like a custom one, you have to upload each individual image, and it's a long drawn out process. And I'm just like,
Yeah.
well, we'll use
Technological stuff is long and drawn
we
out.
will use the technologically advanced Microsoft Word. So, all right. So here's how I would like to do this. I think, especially with the way I've got the screen laid out, is let's all just start thinking of as many foods as we can that are Thanksgiving related. They don't necessarily have to be traditional Thanksgiving foods, but like maybe it's something that your family in particular does, or it could be a take on a traditional Thanksgiving food. And I also would like, anybody in chat that wants to contribute, do the same thing. Put your foods in there, and of course.
Favorite dish.
And of course, we will, hit all the common ones. So let's say we have turkey. Now, the twist for this will be that as we're going along, we're going to rank them and say what is the best Thanksgiving food and what is the worst Thanksgiving food, all the way down, and with as many of these as we can think of. So, right off the bat, I can think of, mashed potatoes, if I can spell shit correctly, sweet potatoes.
Yeah, that's the thing. My girlfriend's family makes. I'm not a fan, and I can eat almost anything. I'm not very picky, but she makes candied yams, and they're okay. I'm not a big like sweet potato guy, but
Sounds interesting.
yeah, it's like a kind of dessert part of Thanksgiving. They're basically mashed potatoes, but sweet potatoes, and then they have like all
Ooh.
kinds
Right.
of stuff in there, like sweet. I don't know what she puts in there. Brown sugar and a bunch of stuff.
Okay, so there's a couple right off the bat. Hold on, let me see if I can.
I would say I can read
Just
you down
this-
my list here. Yeah, I got a list of a few.
Oh, no, I came prepared. I'm winging it.
Give me one.
Oh no, I'm just like rattling them off right now. Stuffing, which I think you might have stuffing, filling, anything like that. Mashed potatoes and sweet potatoes, green beans and corn. I see you have dinner rolls.
We
Lovely.
can't forget the pies. We always have.
No, pecan and.
Oh, well, we're gonna have to
pumpkin
do desserts separately, I think.
Oh, and the candy yams probably go in the
'cause
dessert
there's-
section.
Oh yeah, that's true. Okay, so let's take that off for the moment. Now, before we go any further, let's start ordering these. Okay, so like let's say turkey. We've got three people on screen, so let's we'll just count that as like a vote each.
Yeah.
Turkey higher than mashed potatoes.
Yes, I would say turkey's a solid A tier.
Yep.
Okay.
Especially one that's just sitting there soaking for hours and hours.
And you just
Yeah.
get that yummy
That that's right. Let's look at that right now. This is it is not a bucket of chili or
Like,
taste.
a bucket of anything else. It is a brine to
find out.
soak your turkey in.
That's
That's the way you guys do that.
Yeah. No, this is the first time. It's he's got like a new smoker. You know, he got last birthday of his. It was like his 50th or 51st birthday, and so now all he wants to do is make everything in the smoker. He made pumpkin seeds. In the smoker. That's part of our Thanksgiving. We take all the pumpkins from October, freeze them. You know, save the pumpkins for the pumpkin pie. We take the seeds and roast them for the pumpkin seeds.
Awesome. So that's what Slight's family is doing for the turkey now.
Yeah, that'll be a new one.
Take that off. Okay, sweet potatoes higher than mashed potatoes?
Yes. I never was a sweet potato fan when I was younger. I was always like, what are these? But now I cannot get enough of them. Like, I don't know what it is.
I'd
but-
probably say mashed potatoes for me personally higher than sweet potatoes.
And I'd have to say mashed potatoes higher too. I'm not as big a fan
outnumbered.
of sweet potatoes. Yeah, so you're outnumbered. All right, dinner rolls higher than sweet potatoes?
Dinner rolls are the best thing here. I'm gonna be real. I could eat 10 dinner rolls like before eating anything else. My family used to always keep them on the other side of the table because they were like, if he gets to them, no one else
They're
will get them.
demolished.
No, yeah,
Slight
there will be none left.
dinner rolls higher than sweet potatoes?
Yeah, probably.
Okay, what about mashed potatoes?
Very close. No, not higher than that.
Tom, higher than mashed potatoes?
I would put dinner rolls above mashed potatoes and turkey. Just because you can put everything else in them too, so you're just like, they win. They just
I
win.
mean, yeah, I get that, but I like my big thing with dinner rolls is to like mop up the remaining gravy and whatever
True.
else is on the plate. They're not like
True.
a big thing
They're so
by
utilitarian.
themselves.
We called you an old man. Your taste buds an old man.
All right, so I think I'm gonna agree with Slight, and we'll leave dinner rolls there.
That's Sona for you.
Yeah. Oh, by the way, while I'm thinking about it, thank you for the follows. Sona, Alex Nova, Polarian. I know. Yeah, I'm assuming you guys. I know Sona and Polarian are. Is Alex Nova part of your community too?
Alex is one of my mods. Yeah.
Great. Thank you all for the follow. I appreciate you. And I don't think he's here. Dead End Joker. That was one of. He was in your chat the other day, Slate, wasn't he?
Yep.
And he just joined the Conflux.
Yeah, I keep playing you guys' ads.
Well, I appreciate you. Yeah, so thank you for the follow, folks. If you
Got a complex form to bring in.
if anybody that's new here wants any additional information, there's my website. Check it out, ebc2021.com. Everything that you need to know about my channel's right there. And all right, so where were we? Ham. Any thoughts on where ham would go between turkey, mashed potatoes, dinner rolls, and sweet potatoes?
Okay, so one of my secret favorite foods is a baked ham. I love baked ham. It's so good.
Okay.
So like you put it in the oven and you just let it bake, and it's really good. I would say that like baked slices of ham, the way we cook it at least, are like much better. But for Thanksgiving, I think turkey is over it. And I wouldn't put them above anything else here. And I also
Okay, so leave it at sweet potatoes, you said?
I think I would leave it at sweet potatoes.
Slight.
One of my mods just said that I'm going to have the worst takes though, so take that with a grain of salt.
It's interesting. So ham is one of those things we alternate. So if we have turkey for Thanksgiving, we'll have ham for Christmas, and then the next year we'll switch it.
Yeah.
That's what we do.
Which I'm not a fan of because I'm not like super big on ham. Ham's not gross. It's not amazing though to me. So yeah, probably leave it right in the middle.
Okay.
I would rather have turkey anytime, but
Okay.
again,
see-
I don't dislike it. It's just not the top for me.
all right, so I'll let you two then leave that there because I'm not a big fan of ham. I really have to be in the mood for that. Like occasionally, I can do a hot ham and cheese sandwich or a chicken cordon bleu.
Those are both good choices.
I like ham on my pizza, but that's about it. You know.
That's totally understandable.
So we'll leave that there. Cranberry sauce, up or down?
Down. I hate cranberries.
It's like one of those things that just has to be there for some reason. Why do we even have cranberry?
Yeah, it really.
There, and I never touch it the whole night.
I do, but it's like just a little bit. You know, I don't even care. Like, why is it
I
there?
don't even know what it goes
Is
on.
it a
Do you,
jam?
do you,
What
like,
do you put it? Yeah, what is it there
like,
for?
do you just eat it?
I don't know.
Who just eats cranberries?
Well, and then then you've also got the difference between like a made from scratch cranberry sauce from fresh cranberries and the stuff that almost everybody knows, which You open the can, you shake it out, it goes and just pops
Yeah.
out, and it's
Yeah,
still in the
like,
shape of the interior
what?
of the can. And then for
What
some
is it
reason,
for?
then for some reason you slice it.
Yeah, and then why? Why is it on
Yeah, I
this
don't know what it
dish?
is.
There's just this thing on this dish that I'm supposed to like that's made of something that it's
Maybe
actually
it's
not made out of.
maybe it's just decorative. Maybe we're not even
I
supposed to.
think so. I
It's
think
weird. It's like, what is it, like a jam? I don't know what it's for. I've never
taking
used
it
it on
back
anything in my life. I've just used
to.
it plain.
I think you could probably trace it back to like days of old as them putting what they had on the table, like putting what they were growing on the table. Like, how can we make
Yeah.
this into a thing? Let's make it a sauce. Okay.
Now,
Would be worth
on
it.
that same note, have you guys had fresh, made from scratch cranberry sauce?
I don't know because I always avoid it at the table. I don't know if they bought it fresh or not.
I'm not sure.
Well,
I-
you would definitely know it because it looks like applesauce, but it's red.
oh,
Oh, then no.
Okay.
I've had that
It's-
cranberry jello that just out of the can.
Yeah, no. That's cranberry sauce, but it's like the worst possible version of cranberry sauce. So,
It makes sense as to why I don't like it then.
yeah.
I'll
Okay.
have to try real authentic cranberry sauce and get back to you.
Okay, so just in case I miss anybody, I got short and sweets pickles. I put olives with that, as that's kind of like, on a tray by itself, pickles and olives.
That's that vegetable
and-
charcuterie. I gotta take that.
Yeah. Charcuterie is a whole different thing. I mean, I might as well
Mhm.
put that on here simply because
Yeah!
we're going to have that tomorrow night.
That's gonna be there. It will be present.
And we'll get to ranking that in a second here. But if I missed anybody else, put your favorite, Thanksgiving family foods in the chat.
Maroli.
And I'm going to try to make sure. Just yell at me if I miss it here.
Well, you gotta have mac and cheese on there. Mac and cheese is a big one.
Okay.
Also,
Yeah, go ahead, Slate.
just side note, does anybody have with our family? I'm sure this is pretty common. We'll eat for the next 5 or 6 days, just variations of the same meal. We'll start making sandwiches out of leftovers, whatever, for it lasts a while. Because we always have so much food left over.
Yeah.
That after Thanksgiving. Oh, I think
The
something that's
the
often
Thanksgiving sandwich that literally has 7 different leftover things on it.
The open sandwich,
Yeah.
you just pour all your leftovers on the
I think in Friends, Ross gets his stolen. Oh, something that I think is on the table that I don't think a lot of our other families do. I think it's something that's kind of unique to us. Correct me if I'm wrong. Is sauerkraut?
Oh.
I don't
It's-
know, but we
it's
can certainly
never my
include it.
Favorite thing, but it is on the table. So
You got it. Sauerkraut. We'll get to. That's not how you spell fucking sauerkraut. What the fuck is wrong with you people?
hey, it's difficult. It's a difficult one.
Is it that right? Yeah, I think that's right.
And there's so many variations
No.
of stuffing.
That's
So-
not right either.
so,
I used to
when
know
was
how
looking
that.
at,
There it is. We got an E in there.
Be anywhere depending on what's in it.
Did I put stuffing on here? Yes.
I
Okay.
was just thinking of where to rank it because there's so many different types.
Yeah,
of stuffing.
that's where we left off. Let's just
Yeah.
I think consider a traditional bread stuffing that you would typically actually stuff the turkey with.
like a
my
filling, yeah.
The stovetop, what you're probably most familiar with. So where would you put that?
I mean, I would rank it pretty high.
If it's
See,
got
we
gravy,
normally put gravy, so we'll make homemade
how the
sausage.
You know what? I
gravy
think
on it,
I think
olives.
we'll put that with mashed potatoes because that's
It's pretty high up there. Yeah.
it
gravy.
sits up there for me too.
where was I? Stuffing. Okay,
Like I
so
said, homemade sausages, gravy.
give
olives,
me
stuff in
me on this. Okay, so you got turkey, mashed potatoes, and gravy. Gravy probably goes on a stuffing, but I just put it with mashed potatoes. Dinner rolls, sweet potatoes. Give me where you would put that after. Just guess.
Somewhere up there by mashed potatoes and turkey. It wouldn't be first, but it'd be like second or third for me.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
So we'll
I'd
just say
probably put it
third.
between mashed potatoes and dinner rolls, maybe.
If anybody is eating gravy
Yeah,
alone,
I
I
agree.
will call the police. We will not have meat juice eaten alone.
Just drink your gravy.
I don't know about it.
Yeah. So
I-
it just depends year to year, but
I
stuffing's
didn't-
up there always.
I didn't use tier maker cage because it's time consuming to try to load all these pictures in that. Well, that's what I did last year with a list that they already had pre-made, and it had some weird shit on there, and it was missing a whole bunch of shit that should have been on there. So yeah, that's it. Don't you like my word pad? Jesus. All right. Yeah, drinking gravy. You people are crazy, man.
Just chugging.
All right. So we got stuffing.
Turkey gravy with a hollowed out like turkey leg bone.
So we got
Like a true Viking.
where you sucking the marrow out of the turkey bone and then you
Yeah,
filled the
people do that,
you filled
dude.
the
I
thing
don't-
with gravy.
I don't eat the bones.
All
like
right,
that.
so we got stuffing placed, green beans better than ham. Where would you?
I think
But,
green beans and
for-
corn are both aptly placed.
Hold on. For the rest of this, because we now have several things that are at above, I'm not going to say each individual one. So for every single one that we go through now, tell me what you would put it after from the
Mhm.
top of the list. Okay, so green beans.
Just plain green beans, huh? Not green bean casserole.
Right.
Oh, yeah, there's two ones.
Just like maybe buttered green beans. I seen sometimes people put almond slivers on that.
Yeah, I have seen that. They're pretty solid, I think. They're pretty good.
What would you put it after?
What's the last thing? you
I
have?
wouldn't move it. I would just
Yeah,
keep
just
it
leave
there.
it there.
Right after ham?
Yep.
mhm. I have the.
I'm actually gonna
slight-
bump it up a bit with my personal vote because one, I don't really care for sweet potatoes or ham, and I love green beans by themselves.
Green beans are pretty good. I don't know about corn over green beans, says the chat, but yeah, I think green beans are much more sustainable and like you can keep eating them. I think sweet potatoes stop you. Sweet potatoes are an obstacle. Green
Yeah.
beans you can just shovel them.
I
They're
might
really good.
agree with Polar though. It just depends on what kind of what kind of corn is it? Like corn on the cob? Is it cream corn? What is it? Is it
Corn is
popcorn?
something that goes
You
up.
just throw popcorn in your turkey.
It's just
You know?
popcorn sitting on the table
Yeah.
like we went too far with it this year.
They're like, hey, get yourself a bowl of popcorn, pour some gravy over it all, you know. So where are you thinking after for corn?
I never heard of deviled eggs for Thanksgiving. Though.
I would put them
That's
with
Cage. He's
green
a
beans.
weirdo. With
We
green
have
beans?
We have deviled eggs on our table too.
You agree, Slight,
Not a
with
bad
green
idea.
beans?
Where?
With green beans?
Oh yeah.
Like that? Okay. Deviled eggs. Cage is bringing deviled eggs to the table, so where would we put those in the list? I love deviled eggs, so like I personally would probably put it right up here and right after mashed potatoes and gravy.
Mm,
I am not with you.
I would put
them
them
down by cranberry
after-
sauce.
oh no, we're
I
all
don't
different.
like them at
I was
all.
I was gonna say no, they're good, but I don't know. Probably I wouldn't put them. I would put them after stuffing. We're all very different.
So we've got one who really loves
Okay.
them, one who's middle of the road.
So we
and
probably-
one who just can't stand them.
We'll probably put
Yeah.
it right around here then in the middle.
It's like putting. See, the thing is about turkey and like mashed potatoes and gravy. It's like trying to put something above pizza. You just can't. They're always going to be in the top two.
Mm-hmm.
Does anybody
trying to
have
say that-
Does anybody have pizza for Thanksgiving?
Or trying to say that something's better than Mario. Like you're always going to have that one spot that'll never move.
Yeah.
Pickles and olives or anything else that would go on a relish tray.
Pickles and olives.
Pickles and olives go above green beans.
Okay, so right about there.
Yeah, I would say because I can demolish a relish tray, but I prefer to, I love black olives. I don't necessarily love the regular ones. I like the green and red ones.
Manzanilla, or like have
Something like
you
that.
ever do like Greek olives, Kalamata, stuff like that?
I think but
Okay.
comparing them to green beans and corn, it just feels like a no-brainer to me.
The green ones with the pimento in there. That's a manzanilla. It's a Spanish
Yeah.
olive.
Oh yeah.
Slight. Where would you put pickles and olives and relish tray items?
I don't know. I don't think I've ever really had that combo before, pickles and olives for Thanksgiving.
Well, not necessarily together, but like
Just
where
like that.
where do you think you'd rank it out of the like, you know, what you like for foods? There.
Probably below the ham, between the cranberry sauce and the ham.
Okay.
I don't dislike the olives are better than the pickle. I'm not a big pickle guy.
Yeah. And see, I absolutely love anything salty like that. So I would agree.
My girlfriend is
it's
like,
probably up
people love
here
pickles.
for me.
She'll
So
drink pickle juice.
let's put it right there.
I can chug pickle juice. It's so good.
Oh yeah. Yeah, I do that all the time.
Scotty, you, the girlfriend, my stepdad are all super white people. It must be a white person thing. Drinking pickle juice.
My girlfriend
sour for
loves
me, man.
olives stuffed with garlic.
All right. So I get those regularly from the fork. Charcuterie board. Any item
There's
that
Yakmo right there.
Hi
The frog
hi
balls.
Yakmo.
He's actually
frog
got a jar of
balls.
frog balls. It's true.
What are frog balls?
Like
I
wait
don't
wait a
remember.
second. Are they balls made out of frog meat, or are they frog testicles?
So we went up to there's like a place they go up. They're all fancy. They taste their wine. They buy their wine. It's up in the foothills, and then there's a little mom and pop place, right? And they've got frog balls on. And I thought they were legitimately frog balls, but they're not. They're just like pickled. I think they're Brussels sprouts or something. Some sort of.
Oh well, that is such a
Sort of
fucking letdown. Jesus Christ,
No,
Yakmo.
right?
Yakmo, don't you? No, you're not bringing that shit to the table.
Such a fucking
Pick-
letdown.
Pickled Brussels
So I think
sprouts.
it's Brussels
Jesus.
sprouts, yeah. It's definitely not frog
I
balls.
can't
though.
take you
I was
anywhere.
wondering. But they're called frog balls on the label.
My gosh. I do like just about
Oh,
anything.
yeah, they're spicy too.
I do like just about anything pickled. But yeah. Okay.
Brussels sprouts.
You'd probably like
I
them
don't.
better.
I don't find them on the table. Since we're still talking about them, I don't find them on the Thanksgiving table. I've warmed up to them as a vegetable. I used to hate them. They're okay to me now.
Short and sweet and cage. Deviled eggs are where they are in the list because Tom Soldraic apparently chucks deviled eggs at his mortal enemies. So you can
I
blame
do.
him for that.
That is what I do.
So charcuterie board, we're talking about salamis, pepperonis, cheeses, mixed nuts, any type of specialty items would probably go on charcuterie board.
I would put it towards the bottom of the list, not because it's bad, but because it just gets outshined by everything else on the table.
Yeah,
I
it's just
think.
like, exactly.
Yeah,
Does
he's-
Rigmarole go on there? On the charcuterie?
Rigmarole.
board?
Alex, you will get a deviled egg thrown at you.
Oh, that
Yeah, I would
reminds
agree.
that reminds
agree.
me. Rigatoni. Does anybody do rigatoni or any
do
other
not.
type of like baked ziti or stuff like that?
Baked ziti is good.
Because I think I've
Probably not regularly.
no, but I think I've seen that that's something that even is created as like a side dish. So let's just put pasta
Pasta.
in general, or as Nib would say, pasta.
Pasta.
Okay, so you guys would put charcuterie board a little bit lower. I absolutely love it and would put it at the literal top of the list above turkey.
Good. Really? It just seems like more of a
So
snack.
let's do it this way. Where specifically would you guys put it under? Deviled eggs, sweet potatoes, all the way at the bottom. What would you do with it?
I'd put it between ham and cranberry sauce.
Yakmo, we're doing desserts separately in their own category.
That's gonna be tough.
I'm sorry. Where did you say, Tom?
I would put it between ham and cranberry sauce.
Between ham and cranberry sauce, so almost at the bottom. Slight, where would you put a charcuterie board?
Probably either that or even maybe between deviled eggs and sweet potatoes. Yeah.
Okay, so a
that's
little
right.
bit higher. Okay, so like happy medium
Yeah,
from there.
not bad.
I mean, he's
Not
And
good.
a
there's
good
probably
player, he's just not a
probably
first draft pick
yeah,
by any
probably
means.
right around
You're
here.
right.
Probably right in the middle then. Okay.
The only thing with ham being so low, it again, it just depends on how you make the ham, but overall,
Mm-hmm.
ham is a very salty meat.
Mhm.
Yep.
Not about it.
Someone in the chat said Spanish rice.
That's interesting.
It's not something we do on our table, unfortunately.
Same.
However,
No, but where
I
would you put it?
Between, I would put it between pickles and olives and green beans, I think.
I put it in the garbage. Say, wait your turn. It's not Thanksgiving, or it's not time to eat Spanish rice. It's Thanksgiving.
Hold on a second.
I like Spanish rice. I think it's.
I have to
good.
close that for a second because it's acting funky. Let's restart it.
Watch it not save.
Okay. Okay, so Spanish rice,
White
you said
bread
you'd
on
put
there.
it between
Pickles and olives and green beans, I think.
okay. Pickles and green beans. Slight, where would you put Spanish rice?
I mean, I like Spanish rice. Let me see. What do we have? Probably because there's so many good ones. Probably between I'd put it between deviled eggs and sweet potatoes. It's just not.
Okay.
There's so many good things. I have to put it low.
I do like just about any rice. I don't eat it very often
rice.
because of the diet, but I think I'm generally going to agree. Let's put it with
Please tell me
Soldraic,
you're
so-
taking a break from the diet for tomorrow, though, because like you can't be on a diet on Thanksgiving.
Yeah, I'll remind me. We'll revisit that here before the end.
Thanksgiving.
What happened with all that?
Yeah.
Yeah, I know. Mac and cheese.
Mac and cheese is he's a first string player. He's got to go at least above dinner rolls for me.
Listen to this sports guy. I love it.
Well, the mac and cheese made an end run around the table, and it's completely gone now. And it's
You know what's weird is I don't. As much as it's very common, I don't think we have it too often. Actually, nobody ever thinks to make it. I would put it
when
pretty
it's
high.
on the table, it's one of the first things to go, isn't it?
Yeah, you can make mac and cheese, and then that's where your mistake comes in because you eat it all that, you eat the stuffing, and then you're too full to eat anything else, and that's when I get pissed off. Every Thanksgiving,
All
I
the
get so
carbs, and I
full so
made this
fast.
much turkey for you.
Yeah, man. Then you have to go run around the house a few times so you can come back and eat some more.
okay. So Tom said before or after dinner rolls.
I'd say before dinner rolls.
Yeah.
Yeah, that would go up pretty high. That'd go like right next to stuffing. I agree.
Yeah, and I'm gonna bump it up one more because I really fucking love mac and cheese. I
is
can't eat
great.
that either, but yeah,
It's amazing.
we'll bump it up above stuffing there.
Me and my tummy.
All right, so now not just regular green beans or green beans with almonds. Now we're talking about green bean casserole with the mushroom soup and the French's
That-
fried onions on top.
Yeah.
Now, I
No
have a
talking.
slight advantage in Thanksgiving foods. For the last 5 years or so, I have worked at a Cracker Barrel.
Okay.
Their Thanksgiving foods are like really good. You got sweet potato casserole, you have the turkey and stuff like that. We also do a green bean casserole, or at least we did until about a year or so ago. It was really good. I've never had it homemade, but our green bean casserole was it was really good, I think. So I would
And stuffing in
Excuse me.
general, probably.
put it above the charcuterie board.
Okay. So between dinner rolls and
I
charcuterie,
agree.
Slight, where would you put it?
Yeah.
There.
Yeah, that's good.
I
I would agree.
think I have to drop it down a couple. So I think I'm gonna put it. I personally would put it between pickles and olives and green beans. So let's, we'll take half and we'll put it right above pickles and olives. There. Okay. Sauerkraut. Let me go back
It's
up
not my
in
favorite thing.
the chat here and make sure I'm not missing anything from our chatters.
I think sauerkraut's something I can only have like 2 bites of.
Yeah.
They're 2 very good bites, but after that, it's
not
like,
for Thanksgiving.
yeah. I don't know why we have it on our Thanksgiving table a lot, but I think it's just something that my family has always
I
done.
don't think we do. I'm trying to think. I used to get sauerkraut and coleslaw confused. I would always mix them up.
So where would you place it on the list?
I would put it below cranberry sauce.
Right at the bottom. Slight?
Yeah, probably.
I would make cranberry sauce the bottom, but nobody wants that.
Yeah.
I would put it above cranberry sauce.
Yeah, I'd probably same.
I do like sauerkraut, but I think I would definitely put it close to the bottom. So I think we'll put it one above cranberry sauce. Just because cranberry sauce is awful and it deserves to be at the end. Pasta.
It's decorative, remember.
Yeah.
know
Pasta.
what it
Any
is.
type of pasta.
Not really. That would probably be mac and cheese, I think.
I was gonna say, I feel like you can't really.
No,
have
I
pasta
mean
unless it's mac and
like
cheese.
I mean like
I know
a
what you're talking about.
yeah, tomato based, like a rigatoni
No.
or a ziti, a baked ziti, stuffed shells. I've had pasta, Italian style pasta before at Thanksgiving dinner.
I don't know if its skills are as good as green beans though.
Butter
I think I would put
cereals.
it. I would put it between green beans and Spanish rice. I just wouldn't. I wouldn't put them on first string. I don't think.
Okay.
Yeah, I don't know. What sort of pasta was it again?
Just any
I
type
would-
of like marinara, lasagna, any of that stuff.
Oh, lasagna's pretty good. There's so many different types. That's the thing, and it would affect the ranking. I don't know. I'd probably put it between stuffing and dinner rolls, maybe. If we had
Okay.
to throw it in a Thanksgiving dinner.
All right, and I'm gonna just pick right in the middle there, so we'll put it right here.
Alex said egg salad.
Egg salad.
I would kind of put
I would-
macaroni salad with that,
Well,
and then potato salad as well.
I'd rather lump that in with like deviled eggs, because I'd say that's
Yeah, that's
roughly
understandable.
the same thing. So
Yeah,
we'll put that there.
roughly.
Buttered noodles. What the hell are you eating for Thanksgiving, Cage? Buttered noodles? No.
Hey, at least we don't have
Okay.
Isnid in here to make it work.
Yeah. Okay, I think that's everything
Throw some baked
roughly.
beans in there.
Baked beans, yeah.
You put baked beans on your turkey?
No, I'm sorry,
no, that's
I
what he
don't.
would. That's what
Yeah.
he would do.
I
Yeah.
also do not partake in
No.
baked beans.
Okay,
It's a British-
real quickly, unless you folks have a lot of time, I didn't want to take up even this much time before we move on to the other things here. Real quickly, desserts. Just fire them off. Let's go.
Pumpkin pie.
Pumpkin pie.
Pecan
I know.
pie.
I know.
Yep.
I know that Cage is going to say butterscotch pie, which I've never had. We've got chocolate cake.
We've got the candied yams, which is basically
Cherry
sweet
cheesecake is
potatoes.
something my families do. We usually do it more for Christmas, but it finds its way
That
into the
sounds
Thanksgiving
awesome.
table every year.
Cherry
Cherry.
cheesecake.
Nice.
And it's just really cheesecake with like candied cherries on top. But it's really good.
Apple pie. Brown sugar pie. I don't know what that is. You people are just making up pies at this point.
Coconut cake.
Pumpkin
Coconut cake.
roll.
Meringue, that's true. That's a popular one.
Lemon meringue. Did I spell that right?
We're just
Yeah.
rattling off desserts now. Key lime
Yeah,
pie.
that's
Let's
it.
get that one on
Yeah.
there.
I think those are all the ones for apple, pumpkin, and pecan are pretty much the main three that I have.
Cookies.
There you go.
No cookies.
The classic.
Anything else? Okay. So let's just do a top 3 with this. What would your ranked
Pumpkin
top 3 be? Pumpkin pie 1?
I would
Yeah.
have to. You can't not have him on the team. He's got to be on the table. Like if pumpkin pie is not there, it's not Thanksgiving.
Yeah, you're right. Right. Same with apple, but I like pumpkin more.
Yeah, I think Apple can stand to sit out a few games, but if pumpkin pie is not on the field,
I love the sports analogy.
Okay, hold on.
The best.
Slight. So pumpkin pie is number 1. What would be number
Yes,
2 and
sir.
3?
for
Probably
Slight.
pecan pie.
Pecan is number 2.
Yeah, and I would just say cookies in general because people, there's so many variants of it.
Okay.
Screw it. No, just the 3 pies: pumpkin pie, pecan, and apple. Those are the ones.
And apple.
Those are mine. Yeah, those are the ones everyone's gonna go to.
Okay, Soldraic.
Those are the best.
For me, pumpkin pie is gonna be here. He has to be here. But I think one of my favorite contenders for any Thanksgiving day, it has to be pecan pie. Pecan pie, pecan pie. I know he's got a lot of names, but he's definitely one of the best. I keep using pecan pie is definitely one of my favorite foods to eat on the table. Pecan pie.
Pecan pie? Oh my god. Okay.
Pecan pie.
All right, so pecan pie is number 1. Number
I
2?
would make pecan pie number 1. I would think number 2 would be pumpkin pie, and I would definitely put. I don't know if he's here tonight. I don't know if he's in the draft. I would put carrot cake, not carrot cake. Though carrot cake he's good. I would put coconut cake down as my number 3.
Coconut cake. I don't think I've ever had that.
Just making stuff up. That sounds great.
It's really good. It's really good.
That is awesome.
Okay. And then me personally, number 1 with a bullet is the thing that we always had for like big family get-together desserts, pumpkin roll. I love pumpkin roll. Oh my god.
Never had
Not
that.
a bad pick by any means.
And then I
That's
think I have to go
respectable.
with apple pie as a close second, and cookies, definitely. And just
Cookies are a classic. Cookies are a classic. Can't go wrong.
pumpkin pie is definitely a close number 4, but I think cookies in general, I just have to put
Scotty,
as a
I think
solid
all
number
your
3.
picks, they're definitely safer picks, but they're all pretty solid. I think they're all pretty classic. I could demolish all 3 of those.
Yeah.
So
Okay. So there is the food. We
There
have
we go.
spoken. The 3 caballeros up
It
here
is now law.
have now just told you exactly what you are going to be eating tomorrow, and if you don't, we will hunt you down. Thank you.
This is what is on our table.
Yes.
Yep.
All right. Well, thank you, gentlemen, for that. Now we're going to quickly move on to the next part, and we're going to fly through the rest of this. So the next part is virtual food drive. I can't spell attractions here. Yeah, whatever. Okay, so virtual food drive. This is how it works. If you do not want to reveal any information about your location, then you do not want to put this in the chat. If you don't mind, what I would ask is put your zip code in the chat, and what we're going to do is we're going to find your local food drive. Food bank. That's the word I was looking for. Find local food bank, and we're doing this through feedingamerica.org. So we're going to start with mine, and I will tell you right. I don't mind about this. I live in 44107. So now let me see if I can do this right here. There. Copy.
That was a big reveals.
Yeah, big reveals. I live in 44107. So if I had food I'm going to donate, I'm going to go to the Greater Cleveland Food Bank on South Waterloo Road. That's on the east side of Cleveland. And it's the closest one to me, but they do distribution for the entire Cleveland area. So now I've got 2 people that have already given me their zip codes. We're going to look these up one by one here. And if you would like to, please put your zip code in the chat, or you can either message me on Discord or whisper to me on Twitch, and I will look it up, because what we want to do is we want to try to find a location for you if you don't know where you would go to donate food. So the next zip code that I have here is 95355. So the person that lives there would go to Second Harvest of the Greater Valley in Manteca. Is that a city, Manteca, California?
Manteca? Whoops, guess who
Manteca?
lives there?
Manteca? No. Reveals! Oh my god. We don't know.
Manteca.
And then we've got one more person here. We're gonna look theirs up, and that is
check Discord real quick.
Yep, gotcha. Yeah, you can also, if you don't have my info, you can message one of those folks on the screen, Slight or Soldraic, and they can pass it along to me, and we can check that. Okay, so. Oh, I love this one. This is fantastic. So for the zip code of 19122, we have somebody in that general vicinity, Philabundance, in Philadelphia, PA. Go to Galloway Street. That is a fantastic Slight. I'm sure you appreciate that name.
I do.
That is fantastic.
Philabundance.
That's great.
Yeah.
Okay, let me hold on.
Very cool.
Let me go in here to check this so I don't disrupt our cams.
It's better than Friendsgiving.
Yeah. Okay, so we got another one that's 18935. Oh, that's similar. That's also in the Philadelphia area, and that's Philabundance. So you can go there, and let's see here. But the other point about this virtual food drive is, especially if you got if you are watching this stream on your cell phone, get up out of your chair and go to your pantry right now and go find some cans to donate, some non-perishable goods. Go figure it out. Find some shit right now to put in a box and take to these places, because if you don't, we're also going to hunt you down. Yeah. Let's see what we got here. That's good. Okay, anybody else? You can put it. I'm not going to look up your county office on aging, because that's going to be like they're just going to tell you you're old, right? You know, same old, same old. Oh, great! Thank you, Alex Nova. I appreciate you. Anybody else? If you don't know where it is, we'll look it up live on stream here. Just give me your zip code and we will find it. And yeah. So, what are some of your guys' favorite things to donate for food drive? Is it just or are you before we get into that, are you the type of person that just goes, yeah, I want to donate some stuff. I think I'm going to do this creamed tartar salmon in a can because I don't even know how that got in my pantry, and that's definitely going to go in the box? Or are you the type of person that you're like, yeah, we're going to do some common items, some macaroni and cheese, some tuna, stuff like that? So what are your favorite items to donate?
I've usually always donated canned vegetables.
Okay.
Those are always something that, like, they're safe.
Good
And,
solid
like,
staple.
Yeah. You can always bring them along. One of my friends says SpaghettiOs.
Yeah,
It's
there you go.
just things that 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 you can that don't
And sometimes you can
just
buy extra
sustainable
stuff,
goods. Hmm.
1 or 2 extra things to keep for
Yeah.
donating. in the Future.
Yeah.
That's what I really like to do, especially at Aldi, because it's a discount food store. They always have the canned goods and things like that, and they do have cheaper options. So I could buy a couple of things that are a couple of boxes of pasta, dried pasta for 85 cents each, and
Mhm.
use stuff like that. Peanut butter, canned
Yeah,
vegetables,
that's a big one here.
canned fruit, pickles, anything like that that can sit on the thing. Unfortunately, the food banks do not accept expired food. So if it's expired, you donate it, they just throw it out. They are
Yeah.
not allowed by law to accept it. Um, so yeah, but canned vegetables, fruit. Try to buy some different things like granola bars and other canned goods. That's good. Yeah, I know. I was just saying.
Anything that stays, that keeps, that won't
Right.
be poisonous by the time that they get to it. Yeah.
Something like that.
Poison. Not good.
And the great thing about the food banks is that they, even if you do have oddball items, a lot of them will still find a way to distribute it. Because oddball items they'll sometimes like just have out for the people that do come in. Like I remember once when I was not doing so great financial wise, and I was getting some food from the food bank. It was held in a local church, and I went in there, and they literally had it set up with shelving and all sorts of stuff, right? So the common items, they would say, okay, you can get one of this or two of this, two items from this section here, and you actually could get like items to your liking instead of just what was given to you. And you'd be surprised that creamed spinach can that you got there that nobody in your family likes and somehow ended up in your pantry, somebody is going to take that.
Mhm.
So but yeah, donate often, not just at the holidays if you can help. I like to do it about once every 2 months. Just go pick up maybe $5 worth from Aldi while I'm shopping, or finding those things in my pantry. Although with the way I do the diet, I don't necessarily have a lot of excess food that might go bad or something like that in my house.
Mhm.
But yeah.
Yeah.
So for virtual food drive, if nobody else has any places that you would like me to look up, you can put that in later, or you can message me later, and I'll direct you to where you can find that. In fact, I'll put that in the chat right now too. And this is just for the U.S., but I'm sure you could find something for wherever you are located if that doesn't fit the bill. So let's see here. Did I miss anything? Okay. All right. Anything else further that you guys would like to say on that before we start to finish up here?
No, I
The
think we're
giving
good.
aspect of it. Okay. I really didn't want to take up this much of your guys' times. Oh
No,
yes,
you're
yes.
totally-
Paper products, toilet paper, paper towels, sanitary wipes.
So it's not just food. Yeah.
Yeah.
Anything that increases
Hand
quality living.
sanitizer. You can, and of course, you could venture into the clothing aspect of it. You can donate any clothing.
I was gonna say, plus it doesn't have to be Thanksgiving. It could be anytime. Donate all of it.
There is a constant need for socks, toothbrushes, and toothpaste at food and homeless shelters. So yeah, you could even just do that. In fact, there was one time I found at a flea market a guy that was selling an entire box of socks, probably like 60 pairs of socks for $5.
That's crazy.
So I picked it up and I took it to the shelter. I'm not going to use fucking 60 socks, but
Mm-hmm.
can you imagine me walking around with 60 pairs of socks on all at the same time?
That would be probably a little uncomfortable.
I would look as well wrapped as Slight's head. Yeah.
Oh, he went there.
Yeah, I did.
I love my NASA beanie. Leave my
Yeah,
NASA
that's
beanie alone.
you look very warm and toasty
It is pretty
in
cold.
hot ass California.
Yeah.
So, all right. So if there's nothing else, thank you all for joining me. Let's go over to coming attractions here on the EBC channel. First of all, it's a short week for me because tomorrow we're going to have dinner with the family, and then I have to work Friday, Saturday, Sunday. And it's going to be a long, intensive weekend. I drive for Uber, and I just started a brand new full-time job on top of that. The Browns are playing in downtown Cleveland this coming Sunday, and it's always busy when that happens, so I will be working my ass off. So, the next time I will be streaming is this coming Tuesday. So we'll talk about the shows coming up this coming week. So Tuesday, Ancient Airwaves. We just did CBS Crime Classics this past Tuesday, yesterday, and I have not settled on the content for next Tuesday yet, but you can check out on website what it is. We play old-time radio shows on Ancient Airwaves, so check it out if you're interested in that. Wednesday, our regular DMCA Nope on Wednesday nights is going to be Spaceballs, a favorite of Cage, a favorite of Doom's, a favorite of a couple others, Soldraics. That's, yes, Spaceballs. I'm surrounded by assholes. That's going to be Wednesday night in the Conflux, starting at my new time, 6 p.m. Because of my new job, I get up at 5 a.m. every single morning now. So I had to shift forward an hour for my normal start times of 7. So that will be at 6 p.m. on Wednesday. Likewise, 6 p.m. on Thursday, That's Not Real Trek podcast continues. We're going to be looking at Star Trek Strange New Worlds, episodes 7 and 8 in the first season. So check that out if you are Star Trek inclined. Fuck you, Cage, with your fucking whatever you're typing in my chat, you asshole. And then I realized something. Mondays weren't really working for me for a number of different reasons. So this is going to be a first. I'm going to stream on a Friday. Because I'm not going to be doing Uber next weekend, so let's play some games. I'll break out the Simon's Quest like I had wanted to the past couple of Mondays, and it just didn't work, so that'll be on Friday starting at 6 p.m. because Cage is, he doesn't like 6 p.m., and I love what Cage doesn't like. Sunday, December 4th, we're going to do another EBC show on the Conflux Discord. This time, just in time for Christmas, the best Christmas movie of all time, Die Hard. We're going to be roasting and kibitzing with our friend Russ in the Conflux Discord, starting at 5 p.m. Make sure you're there for it because yippee-ki-yay, motherfucker. And that same night, episode 2 of Cage Match Wrestling over on Cage's channel, I won... not me, the Fat Man, won his match in episode 1. So I am so stoked to see how well the Fat Man does in episode 2 on December 4th. I think he's either gonna win or he's gonna have a heart attack in the ring because he comes out like eating a stick of butter. It's fantastic. But yeah, check that out. Cage Match Wrestling. That's at 10 p.m. Nope, that's not what I wanted to do. Let me go back to, hold on a second. Let me go back to this thingamabobber over here. So Tom Soldraic, tell us what is coming up on your channel.
Well, as my community knows currently, I am not currently streaming this week.
Okay.
Just due to not being home,
Right.
for Thanksgiving. But, come Monday, we'll be back with, it'll be the good old Marble Monday stream. We have some interesting
Honor and glory.
honor and glory.
Yeah.
Must obtain honor and glory. We have a few other interesting content ideas that we're gonna brainstorm with next week too. A few competitions. In as much, we also have the viewer SMP will be having an interesting little event. That'll be fun too. We'll see if that holds out.
Okay.
But yeah, just doing some fun. Got our regular schedule. Your regularly scheduled Tom Soldraic programming will be coming back to you next week.
Fantastico. Yeah, I like to go in there and lose at marbles. It's always a fun time.
Me too. I
Yeah.
also lose.
Mhm. And then Sleight of Game. What is coming up on your channel?
All the bad stuff. Zelda 2, Kingdom Hearts, Chain of Memories. A lot of stuff. In January,
I'm stoked for Zelda 2, man. I want
Yeah?
to see you rage on that one.
Oh my gosh. It's not fun. It's not fun. I made the stupid mistake of letting people choose the games. And here we
Yeah,
go.
what the hell?
So, but then January is going to be From Ages Past, the new series. I sent you a picture of it, actually, Scotty.
Oh, is that what
It's,
that was? Okay. Hold on.
Yeah,
Let me...
it's all the game. It's just like Nostalgia, but this time instead of NES, it's all the games I owned as a kid that were Sega. That's a much
Okay.
bigger list.
Sega. Okay. All right. So
That's what's coming up.
yeah,
That's about it.
go check those people out. And Cage shouted them out again because he's a mod and he thinks he's helping. So yeah. All right.
Go Cage.
So, yeah. All right, let's find somebody to raid. I always offer to my guest if I remember what the hell I'm doing here. So, Slight or Soldraic, do you have a recommendation for a raid?
One of my good friends is playing Valorant right now. Her name is Coffee Smalls.
Exactly like it sounds.
Yep, Coffee Smalls.
Nice.
Sure, we could do that. Okay, they're on follower or subscriber only chat, so you will have to follow if you do want to chat. But yeah, check them out, and I'll be with you for a little bit of time. Thank you for joining us, and we'll see you next week on Tuesday for Ancient Airwaves. Yeah, it's been
Sounds
fun.
great.
Thank you, gentlemen, for joining me. I
Of
appreciate
course.
you.
Thank you for having me on. I appreciate it.
It's been fun.
Really
Oh,
good.
and Mr. Soldraic has graciously agreed to be a part of an upcoming project, so you will be seeing some more of him on the EBC channel coming up. Yeah,
I'm excited. I'm excited.
It's going to be a whole thing, and we might cause some explosions. Yeah, you never know. It's going to be fun. All right, so thank you all for joining. Don't do anything I wouldn't do because Soldraic ain't going to do that shit for sure, and I'm not going to do that shit, and Slight might do that shit, but you're going to have to pay him, and he wants to be paid in sauerkraut and olives and pickles and all of the other things from our food list that he did not like. He will throw them at you and make fun of your dog, and that's about it. So thank you. Good night. Adios.